Hey y'all, and welcome back to my channel, The Cutest Little Thing, Upcycle with Andrea. I am Andrea, and I thank you so much for hopping on to watch this video today. If you enjoy thrift flips, DIYs, upcycling, home decor, and all of the above, then you are at the right place. I hope that you enjoy this video today, and if you do, give me a like and even share it with a friend who you think will like it too. Hit that notifications bell so you don't miss any future videos. Okay guys, for this project I have these cute little Christmas tins. I took them outside and spray painted them white. Now I'm going to go in with the color Null. I think I'm pronouncing that correctly. And this is the Fusion paint. This is some paint that I won a free sample of. It came in my little prize box that I won from Emily's Upcycled Home. I did 2 coats on all 3 Christmas tins. And I did find these tins, they were brand new, but I found them at Goodwill for like 69 cents each. These labels I purchased off of an Etsy shop. They are super cute. And I printed them onto muslin cloth instead of printing them on computer paper. And I have a whole video tutorial. You may could scroll down and find it here on Facebook, but I do have it over on my YouTube channel where I did, I think it was Christmas in July series, but I have a whole tutorial on that. And I just coated the front of the tin with Mod Podge, just enough space to completely cover the back of that label where it would adhere to the tin. You want to be sure it goes far enough over so that those corners and edges will stick and adhere to the surface. And I just spread that down and press that firmly. Make sure you get it lined up and good and straight, because it doesn't take it too long and it'll set and you won't really be able to move it that good. And I just did all 3 tins, putting those labels on there. And I'm just taking a baby wipe and wiping around the edge just to get that excess Mod Podge off of there. And there's also a little lip at the top of the tin, and the label goes just a little bit above that, but that's fine. It will adhere right over that raised surface. But I am being sure I get that Mod Podge coated over that and coated high enough up on the tin. I'm going to let that dry really well. Now I'm ready to fill my tins with some decor and embellishments. This is just a foam floral block. I cut it into thirds and stuck it down in the bottom of my tin. These Christmas picks I get at Walmart. They are super cute. They're $1.28 each. They have the cute pine cone and the red berries and the flocked pine. And look at these little rolling pins, y'all. They are so cute. I get them off of Amazon. I thought the 2 rolling pins would be cute in the tins that had the hot cocoa labels and things like that about Santa's bakery. And the other tin was the Farm Fresh Christmas trees. So I had those little mini Christmas trees I stuck in there with that arrangement. Now I have these cute little wooden spatulas and these Christmas stamps I got off of Temu. And I just stamped those little ornaments there onto that spatula and stuck in the tin on one side and the rolling pin on the other side. And these are little mini, I think they're 6-inch rolling pins. And there I'm just sticking in more flocked pine that I had on hand. And just kind of getting those branches and things adjusted in there. And now I'm going in with some Spanish moss just to fill in any gaps. And I'm just taking my hot glue gun and hot gluing around the inside edge of the rim and just sticking that Spanish moss right to that and filling in those holes and gaps. And then I started hot gluing the moss directly because it was a little hard getting to the inside of that tin. So I just put a little bit of hot glue on that moss and stuck it right to the tin. Now I have these little mini pine cones. I get them off of Amazon as well. And I'm just going in with a few and hot gluing them, sticking them onto my flocked garland pieces. And look at these cute little red bells. These came from Dollar General. And these little tags I got from Temu. These were super cute. So I was just going to kind of tie one of these Christmas tags to the little red bell and stick in the little tin at the front. I thought that would be super cute. And I love the little cup there for the ones with my rolling pins. It's sort of like a bakery theme. And I thought that went nicely with it. So I did 2 like that. And I just took my jute string there and tied a little bow in the front. And I'm just going to hot glue that right on the front of there. And look how cute these turned out. The little Farm Fresh Christmas tree tin, I just hot glued a little rusty bell on the front of it and tied a little bow out of that jute string. But I just love how these turned out. They are super cute. Let me know what you think. And thanks so much for watching, guys. I hope you all have a great day. For this project, I have this basket. I have already decorated it for the 4th of July. I did that over this summer. It didn't sell in my booth, so I am just going to revamp it for Christmas. I just took everything out, cut off that bow. I have this little snowman here. I thrifted him for $1 and I think 28 cents. So I'm just cleaning him up really good with some rubbing alcohol. And his little basket on his arm and a little piece of his arm was kind of coming unraveled. So I just fixed that with some hot glue. Here I'm just taking some raffia and putting in the bottom of my basket. And also some Spanish moss just to fill that basket. These are some cute little wooden apples I got from the Dollar Tree in at the beginning of the fall season. In my bowl, I had a little bit of water, and I'm using the color Crimson in the Waverly. This is chalk paint, and I'm just mixing that in with that water just to make a watered down paint and brushing that onto those wooden apples. Just getting all those painted up red and laying them over in that plate to dry. And after it dries, I'll go back and do the tops of those as well. This cute little tin bucket, I also thrifted. I only paid like maybe 60 or 70 cents for it. I cut up some raffia and put inside of there as well. Here I have these cute little pine cones I get from Amazon, and I'm just brushing some white chalk paint over those to make it look like snow. And I'm just giving this like a farmer's market theme, farmhouse theme with a twist of Christmas. Because I don't know if you saw on the front of that basket, I had put a transfer on there that said farmer's market onto a piece of drop cloth. And I just hot glued that onto the front of the basket. So I wanted to leave that on there. And here I'm just taking that red chalk paint and painting the top of his hat, the cute little tin bucket for his hat. I thought that would add a nice little touch. Now, after our apples dried, I'm just adding those to our bucket along with those pine cones. Just getting those arranged in there how I like them. I also had these little rusty jingle bells. I threw in a few of those. This is a sheet of little Christmas sayings. I purchased this image off of Etsy and printed out on my inkjet printer. And I just cut off the little piece that said Christmas in the air. And I Mod Podged that onto the front of that little tin bucket. I like the tin look, so I didn't want to paint over the bucket. So I just thought I could add that little saying. And I just filled my basket with my cute little snowman and my tin bucket of goodies. I decided to add a little greenery. I had these pine picks that I get from Amazon. I just placed those, cut them to fit, and placed them, kind of filled in some of the gaps in the basket. And this turned out super cute. And I did decide to hot glue that little pine cone onto the side of his hat. And I stuck those little pine cone picks right in the front. And of course, I had to make a little bow to go on there as well with some fabric strips and lace. And I hot glued one of those little rusty jingle bells in the center of that. And hot glued that onto my basket there. And look how cute this turned out. What a cute little transformation from the 4th of July to Christmas. I hope you enjoyed this. Okay, here is another 4th of July project that didn't sell in my booth, so I'm going to revamp it for Christmas. I just cut off that 4th of July ribbon there, and now I'm going over these blue handles and painting them with white chalk paint. I'm using the color Plaster in the Waverly. And very carefully, I'm just painting those handles. And I ended up doing 2 coats for good measure. The first coat really covered well, but I just wanted to go ahead and go with a second coat. Next, I'm going in with my DIY wax, and I just wanted to go over that transfer. I am going to leave it, but I wanted to go over it and also just kind of polish up that red chalk paint. It still looked good. It did have a couple of little nicks on it, just where from hauling it from my booth in the box with my other items. But that DIY wax just gave it a nice, fresh look. And I also went over those handles as well and sealed in that paint. Now I'm going in with a little bit of DIY dark wax, just a little bit. I just wanted to kind of darken that red paint just so it weren't quite so bright. And now I'm just going over that with a dry paper towel, just kind of wiping off that excess wax and just kind of rubbing it in that paint. And sorry guys, I'm off camera here. I started going over the handle, and then I decided I think I want my handles to look stained. So I took my antique wax in the Waverly and I went right back over that white chalk paint. It had dried really well, but I just I thought the stained look would look really nicely. So I was going to try it and see, and I did end up liking that a lot. So I let that first coat dry, and then I went back in with a second coat. And I didn't wipe away any excess or anything. I wanted it to look nice and dark. Now I'm taking this pretty, it's like a primitive style fabric I order off of Walmart, and I'm just cutting little strips in it, and then I'm just tearing it, making little strips of fabric, and I'm going to make a crisscross bow for this rolling pin. And I just kind of kept crisscrossing that ribbon, those two different styles, and then I had some burlap. I love those were stamps I got from Temu, and I thought the little gingerbread man would add a nice touch with those brown handles. So I was going to make a tag, and I just pressed him into my ink there. I get my ink off of Amazon, and I just pressed him very carefully on that little cardboard tag. And look how cute that turned out. I went ahead, and when I do something like that, I'll go ahead and make several. So then I'll just have some on hand in my stash when I'm making projects and things. It's just quicker, and I'll have some ready and I can just grab if I want another gingerbread tag. So I just went ahead and made several of those little gingerbread tags while I had everything out. These little handmade with love buttons I got off of Temu, and I just hot glued one of those in the center of my ribbon strip bow and just got all that adjusted. And I'm going to add that to my handle there. And look how cute this turned out, guys. What a great transformation. Let me know what you think.